Think your light dinner is keeping you healthy after 60? Think again. That simple soup, early mealtime, or harmless glass of wine might be the reason you're losing muscle and gaining belly fat, without even knowing it. I'm Dr. Mark Whitmore, and today I'll show you 5 common dinner habits that quietly steal your strength. What's the one thing you always eat for dinner? Let me know in the comments. And now, it's time for the intro. 3, 2, 1. It was raining softly outside the window when Dr. Mark Whitmore glanced up from Nancy's chart. The gentle tapping of water against the roof mixed with the quiet hum of the old heating vent, filling the cozy exam room with a familiar kind of stillness. Nancy, 67, sat across from him, cheeks a bit paler than the last time, hands folded neatly on her lap. She had been a patient of his for nearly 10 years. Retired schoolteacher. Lived alone now. Still volunteered twice a week at the library. But today, she looked tired in a different way. "You know, Mark," she said with a chuckle that didn't quite reach her eyes, "I eat less than I used to, walk every morning, even gave up soda, but somehow, this belly won't budge, and my knees feel weaker than ever." Dr. Whitmore leaned back, nodding slowly. He'd heard this before, far too often. "Nancy," he said gently, "what if I told you that your dinner plate might be part of the problem?" She blinked. "Dinner? But I eat healthy. Usually soup or a sandwich. Nothing big." Exactly. What many people over 60 don't realize is that the way we eat dinner, something we've done the same way for decades, might be silently stealing muscle and adding belly fat. Not through overeating, but through undernourishing. Not through bad intentions, but outdated habits. And the consequences? Loss of strength. Balance issues. Higher risk of insulin resistance. Even faster aging at the cellular level. In this video, I want to walk you through 5 of the most common mistakes older adults make during dinner, mistakes that seem harmless but, over time, slowly erode your muscle mass and invite stubborn belly fat. These aren't rare or extreme behaviors. In fact, most of them are things we've been taught to do in the name of eating light or eating healthy. But here's the good news, you can fix every one of them. Whether you're watching this for yourself, or for someone you love, a parent, a spouse, even a neighbor, this episode is for anyone who's ever looked in the mirror past 60 and thought, "Why do I feel weaker even though I'm trying to do everything right?" You're not doing anything wrong. You're just following old rules that no longer work for your body's new needs. And once you understand what those needs are, everything can change. So let's begin. 5 dinner habits. 5 simple solutions. And the path back to strength, one evening at a time. By the time Nancy left the clinic that afternoon, the rain had stopped. But what lingered in Dr. Whitmore's mind was not the weather. It was her quiet question as she stood at the door, "So? I've been eating wrong this whole time?" It wasn't guilt in her voice. It was surprise. The kind that comes from realizing something so familiar, like dinner, might actually be working against you. And she's not alone. Let's talk about the 5 most common mistakes I see people over 60 make during dinner. Some seem harmless. Others even come from a good place, trying to eat lighter, avoid discomfort, or sleep better. But the truth is, these habits can slowly chip away at your strength, energy, and independence. Let's break them down, each with a real story, so you can see just how easily it happens. 1. Skipping protein at dinner. I just have something light. When Betty first came to see me, she was 72, vibrant, loved her garden, and proud of staying active without relying on pills or potions, as she put it. But recently, she'd started noticing something different. Her legs felt shaky when she got out of bed, and she had stumbled twice in the kitchen. No big injuries, but she was scared. Her food diary was simple. Breakfast: eggs. Lunch: chicken salad. Dinner? Oh, just a bowl of tomato soup and half a grilled cheese. I don't like eating heavy at night. That was the problem. As we age, our bodies process protein less efficiently. We actually need more of it, not less. And spreading protein across the day is key. Without at least 20 to 30 grams at dinner, your body misses a critical window to rebuild muscle overnight. In Betty's case, we made one small shift, added grilled salmon and quinoa to dinner twice a week. Within a month, her legs felt stronger, and she hadn't stumbled once. 2. Eating too early, then fasting until morning. I know the routine well. You retire, your schedule shifts, and suddenly dinner is at 4:30 or 5 p.m. Then you don't eat again until breakfast at 8 a.m., that's 15 hours without fuel. The result? Your body starts breaking down muscle to maintain energy overnight. One patient, Tom, 70, was doing everything right. Morning walks, low-fat diet, no snacking. But he kept losing strength and couldn't figure out why his pants fit looser, but only around the thighs. The culprit? He was eating dinner at 4:30 and then, nothing. Now, I'm not telling you to eat at 10 p.m., but if your last meal is before sundown, your muscles may be paying for it. A small high-protein snack around 8:30, like a hard-boiled egg, cottage cheese, or even a handful of almonds, can protect muscle through the night. 3. Too many white carbs at night. Let's talk about George. Retired truck driver. Loved his routine, dinner at 6, usually pasta, rice, or mashed potatoes, always with bread. I don't eat much anymore, he told me. But the belly just keeps growing. That belly wasn't from calories. It was from insulin spikes. Refined carbs, white rice, bread, noodles, cause your blood sugar to rise quickly, triggering insulin, a hormone that stores fat, especially in the abdominal area. And the older we get, the more sensitive our bodies become to these surges. When I showed George what was happening inside his body, he shook his head. No one ever told me bread could do that. We swapped some meals, roasted vegetables and lentils instead of mashed potatoes, quinoa bowls with grilled chicken instead of pasta. Within 2 months, the belly softened. But more than that, he felt less bloated and more awake in the morning. 4. Too much salt in dinner meals. Doctor, why do I wake up feeling like I haven't slept? That was Eleanor, 74, when she first came in. Her blood pressure was controlled. Her labs were okay. But every morning, she felt stiff, puffy, and exhausted. The cause? Salt. Many older adults lose some of their taste sensitivity, especially for subtle flavors. So food needs to be tastier to be satisfying. Frozen dinners, canned soups, store-bought sauces, they're all loaded with sodium. And salt causes water retention, strains the heart, and disrupts natural rhythms, especially at night. Eleanor switched to seasoning with herbs, rosemary, garlic, basil. She cut back on sauces and added fresh lemon for brightness. It wasn't instant magic, but 2 weeks later, she came back smiling. I woke up today and didn't feel like a balloon. 5. That nightly glass of wine, just to help me sleep. I get this one a lot. It's just 1 glass, document red wine. Heart healthy. But here's the catch, alcohol, even in small amounts, disrupts the deep stages of sleep, which is when your body repairs and rebuilds. And alcohol reduces the secretion of growth hormone, a key player in maintaining muscle mass. Harold, 69, had always prided himself on being disciplined. He had cut back on sugar, exercised regularly, and even did Tai Chi, but he couldn't shake this nagging fatigue and brain fog that followed him into each day. His labs were normal. It wasn't until I asked about sleep that we found the culprit. I have a glass of wine at 9. Helps me doze off. Yes, it helps you fall asleep. But it keeps you from sleeping well. Once Harold replaced the wine with chamomile tea and a short evening walk, things shifted. He still fell asleep easily, but now, he woke up rested. The truth is, these 5 habits aren't bad in the traditional sense. They're familiar, comfortable, and often well-meaning. But your body over 60 is not the body you had at 30. It needs different rules. It asks for different care. And the good news? Change doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need a new diet or supplements. Just smarter choices at dinner, choices that support strength, preserve muscle, and keep you feeling steady on your feet. We'll get to the exact how in the next chapter. But for now, ask yourself. Am I eating enough protein? Am I going too long without fuel? Am I overdoing the bread and pasta? Am I seasoning more with salt than with flavor? And is that evening drink really helping me sleep, or just helping me cope? You deserve to eat in a way that serves you, not sabotages you. Let's move forward. After pointing out the dinner habits quietly draining strength from people like Nancy, Betty, and George, I want to make something clear: reversing this doesn't require a complete overhaul of your life. You don't need to throw out your cookbooks, join a gym, or count macros on your phone. What you do need is intention, and a willingness to make 5 simple, powerful shifts. Let's walk through them now, one step at a time, from the easiest to the most transformative. 1. Add 20 to 30 grams of quality protein to your dinner. Let's go back to Nancy. If you remember, her usual dinner was light, half a sandwich, maybe some soup. Not bad, but not enough. She wasn't feeding her muscles. After our talk, she started small: grilled chicken breast with roasted vegetables, or a lentil stew with a boiled egg on the side. She kept it simple, nothing fancy. 2 months later, her balance was better, and for the first time in over a year, she told me she walked up the library stairs without holding the rail. That's the power of protein. The science here is simple. After 60, your body doesn't respond to protein as efficiently. You need more to trigger muscle repair. Think: 3 ounces of salmon, a cup of lentils, 2 hard-boiled eggs. If you're not sure how much protein is in a food, remember this rough rule: if it fits in your palm and it's meat, fish, or beans, it's probably close to 20 grams. Your dinner doesn't have to be heavy, but it has to be smart. 2. Adjust your meal timing, and include a gentle snack if needed. Many older adults eat early and then fast too long. That overnight stretch without nutrition can trigger muscle breakdown, especially if your dinner was light on protein. A good target? Eat dinner between 6 and 7 p.m. And if you're still awake by 9 or 10, it's okay, even wise, to have a small, balanced snack. My patient Carol, 66, was waking up tired every morning even though she went to bed early. We discovered she was eating dinner at 5 p.m. and going to bed a bit hungry. Once she added half a cup of Greek yogurt with a sprinkle of chia seeds around 9 p.m., she stopped waking up groggy and actually had more energy to get through her gardening sessions. Your muscles don't sleep just because you do, they recover. Fuel them. 3. Swap refined carbs for slow, steady ones. Remember George with the stubborn belly? The solution wasn't cutting carbs altogether, it was changing the kind. We switched his white rice and mashed potatoes for roasted sweet potatoes, quinoa, and steel-cut oats. These carbs release sugar more slowly into the bloodstream, keeping insulin stable and helping the body burn fat instead of storing it. If you're used to pasta or bread at dinner, try this: replace half the portion with roasted root vegetables, farro, or even cooked beans. These options not only support better metabolism, they'll keep you full longer, so you're not rummaging through the pantry at 10 p.m. 4. Flavor smarter, not saltier. Salt is sneaky. It hides in sauces, soups, frozen meals, and salad dressings. And over time, too much of it can strain your heart, your kidneys, and leave you waking up stiff and bloated. But taste matters. I always tell my patients, don't make healthy food boring, just make it clever. Use fresh herbs like thyme, dill, rosemary. Try adding acidity with lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. Eleanor, 74, said she used to dread low-sodium meals, until she discovered garlic-roasted broccoli with olive oil and a sprinkle of smoked paprika. Now, she says dinner feels like a treat again, not a prescription. If you have high blood pressure or wake up feeling puffy, take a look at your spice cabinet. And remember, flavor doesn't have to come from a shaker of salt. 5. Rethink your nightcap, try calming teas instead. Many of my patients turn to alcohol to unwind. It's familiar. It seems to help. But as I explained to Harold, one glass of wine at night might help you fall asleep, but it prevents your body from entering deep, restorative sleep. That's where growth hormone is released, a key piece in muscle preservation. Instead of cutting him off completely, we agreed on an experiment: swap his wine for chamomile tea for 3 nights. On the 4th day, he called me, sounded brighter. "Doc, I didn't even realize how poorly I'd been sleeping." That one small change helped unlock better rest and clearer mornings. You might also try mint tea, lemon balm, or even warm milk with a touch of cinnamon. The ritual of winding down is what matters, not the alcohol. Putting it all together, the weekly dinner map. When my patients feel overwhelmed by all the choices, I offer them what I call a dinner map, a simple weekly guide that helps keep meals balanced without being repetitive. Here's a sample. Monday, grilled salmon plus quinoa plus steamed asparagus. Tuesday, lentil stew plus whole grain toast plus Greek yogurt later. Wednesday, chicken stir-fry with brown rice plus herbal tea. Thursday, turkey meatballs plus roasted sweet potato plus spinach. Friday, baked cod plus farro salad plus chamomile tea. Saturday, black bean bowl plus avocado plus baked plantains. Sunday, veggie omelet plus small baked potato plus sliced apple. It's not about perfection. It's about rhythm. Variety. Protein. Smart carbs. Less salt. And restful sleep. You can take this map, adjust it for your own tastes and routines, and make it your own. The important thing is that each dinner supports, not steals from, your strength. So now that we've covered the 5 silent mistakes, you also have 5 daily solutions. And just like Nancy did, just like Carol, George, and Harold, you can feel stronger again. You can wake up steadier. It just takes a little curiosity, and a plate full of intention. As we wrap up, I want you to pause and think about one simple truth: after 60, every dinner you eat is either helping you build strength, or quietly pulling it away. There's no neutral ground. The body at this stage of life is more sensitive. It listens closely to what you feed it. And the decisions you make each evening, what's on the plate, when you eat, how you wind down, matter far more than most people realize. You don't need a perfect meal plan or a complete lifestyle overhaul. But you do need to be intentional. Because the same habits that once worked in your 30s or 40s may no longer serve you now. And that's not your fault, it's just biology catching up with time. Let's go back to Nancy for a moment. When she first sat in my office, she felt tired. Her legs wobbled when she stood up. She told me she missed walking to the farmer's market like she used to. We didn't put her on a diet. We didn't count calories. We simply adjusted her dinner: more protein, dinner closer to 6:30 instead of 5, and a spoonful of almond butter before bed. That's it. 2 months later, she was walking farther, sleeping deeper, and smiling more. She got her strength back, not from a pill, but from a plate. So here's what I want you to remember. First, after 60, dinner is no longer just about not being hungry. It's a tool. A chance to protect your muscles, support your sleep, and regulate your metabolism. Every plate is a fork in the road: rebuild or break down. Second, you only need to change 2 or 3 habits to see real results. You don't have to do everything at once. Maybe tonight, you add a piece of grilled chicken. Tomorrow, you swap your white bread for roasted sweet potato. Next week, you try peppermint tea instead of that glass of wine. Small shifts, big impact. Ask yourself this: are you eating in a way that makes your body stronger, or silently weaker? You don't have to answer right away. But the next time you sit down for dinner, I hope that question lingers. And I hope it gently guides you toward a new kind of strength, one built quietly, bite by bite, evening by evening. I want to end today's conversation with something that doesn't come from a textbook, but from years of listening. Most of my patients don't come to me because they're in pain. They come because something feels off. They say things like, "I used to walk faster," or "I feel slower lately," or the one that always stays with me, "I just feel like I'm aging too fast." And more often than not, they've been told it's just part of getting older. But here's what they rarely hear: sometimes, that feeling of getting old isn't about age, it's about habits. And many of those habits begin, quietly, at the dinner table. That's why this message matters. If you're watching this and thinking about your own dinner routine, or someone you care about, don't keep this video to yourself. Share it with your spouse. Send it to your mom or dad. Knock on your neighbor's door if they've mentioned feeling more tired lately. Because one small shift in how we eat dinner can give someone 5 more strong, steady years. And that's not an exaggeration. I've seen it happen. If this video helped you see your evening meal in a new light, I'd love to invite you to subscribe. I'll be sharing more in this series: simple, science-backed steps for eating well and aging strong. You don't have to do this alone. We're building a community of people who are done feeling confused, and ready to feel in control. And if you're open to it, leave me a comment below: what's one thing you're going to change about your dinner this week? Or tell me which habit from today's video felt most familiar. I read every comment, and I respond whenever I can. This is personal work for me. Because the truth is, your body after 60 doesn't need fancy trends or expensive supplements. It just needs you to revisit the basics, with care. With awareness. With kindness. Your muscles still listen. Your metabolism still responds. Your energy is still yours to claim. Sometimes, the difference between decline and strength isn't a breakthrough treatment, it's just doing the old things, the right way.